Amsterdam in the Netherlands plays host to the first Elite 15 major of the season. And in the women's field, we look forward to the return of Megan Jacoby and Lauren Weeks, who are back to battle it out for the top. Not just that, a whole heap of the field are looking strong this year. So no doubt there's going to be a good contest at the top of the table. But for event number one, anything could happen. Let's head on down and join your commentary team of Till Schenk and Greg Williams right in the thick of the action.
Hello, Lauren. Fantastic. It looks like you're just as excited down there as we are here. Welcome everybody on the live stream. Fantastic to have you here at the first Elite 15 race. And we just heard it from Lauren Weeks. It's a surprise race. She doesn't know too much about the competition. We don't know where we stand. It's the first major of the reason. Greg, it couldn't be more exciting than this.
Yeah, really exciting. Really strong athletes in this field. Like you say, there's some newbies. We don't know how they're going to approach the race. Excited to see how it starts.
All right, and here we go, straight out of the gates. This is the start of our women's elite race here, the first major of the season, live from Amsterdam. And you know, like, just look at the picture. So, are we going to see Lauren Weeks race straight out of the gates? Is she going to be first to the SkiErg? Where's the competition? We got a couple of first-timers in there. It is going to be a fantastic day. 22 seconds into the race, you see it presented by Amazfit, our new partner, presenting the time here for the women's race, and Lauren Weeks taking charge.
And perform strongly. So we know she's race ready, whereas someone like Lauren Weeks, who was saying to you before the show, she doesn't know whether she's Hyrox ready yet, whereas we know someone like Kate Davey is, and that can give her some comfort coming into this.
And of course, you know, we asked you out there on screens, who is your race favorite? And the polls are in. And it is kind of a clear decision. So in fourth place, you got Vivian Tafudo. So we kind of like her in our top three as well. And then, interestingly enough, ahead of her, Joanna Wittrich. And she, like the votes from our viewers out there, she's very close to Lauren Weeks in the votings. And then Megan Jacoby with an incredible 67% is how you see her win the race here today. And she was really close going into the SkiErg here right now. I know she was happy to calculate a few more seconds. You're going to see, if we look, obviously, you know, we're going to judge a little bit by how we saw them in winter, how the last season went. We got to look at that duel between Megan Jacoby and Lauren Weeks, and then we're going to mix in the other fantastic women that we got in the race here as well. Judges watching carefully throughout the winter. You know, the judges and everybody sat down with the athletes. Plans were made about the rules and everything. They've gotten a little more strict, a little more enforced when it comes to technique and everything that we'll be seeing. We'll be seeing a beta version of the electronic count of the board at the wall ball. So a couple of new things, a couple of changes, a couple of clarifications throughout the winter. And the one I'm really eager to see is the burpees.
Yeah. So the burpees, the change isn't significant, but one of them is that you have to take off and land with parallel feet, so you can't have a slightly staggered foot. The judges are going to be particularly strict on it. We were in the athlete briefing earlier, and they were being very clear about what is going to be allowed, what isn't going to be allowed, and the judges are going to be watching every athlete very, very closely. And that station is hard enough as it is. If you get a penalty or anything there, that can cost you a lot of time.
I'm sure it's going to be a close battle, but now Lauren Weeks is first into the second workout here. And once again, a very warm welcome to everybody joining us just now. The first major of the season, live from Amsterdam. A beautiful kickoff to a 4-day weekend here. And it's the first stop, and we're going to see a lot of great races throughout the season. Hong Kong is one of the races we'll be seeing. Las Vegas is another one we'll be seeing. But now we're seeing the chasers behind Lauren Weeks here at the second workout, the sled push. Lauren Griffith, you know, making up just a little bit of ground here, actually pulling away just a little bit from Megan Jacoby. And again, judges have been very, very clear about how far the sled needs to be pushed now. So the rule is not anymore that where it touches the ground. It's got to be a line where the little top bit off the sled down there is. And look at Lauren Griffith. She's made out that ground to Lauren Weeks. Megan Jacoby is doing her thing. She's right there. She's just about 8 seconds behind. Very controlled, very good, strong effort.
Lauren Griffiths is flying here.
Oh my,
absolutely
it's
flying.
Crazy. I mean, we were looking at the warm-up, and at least in the warm-up zone, we had new sleds. We had fast sleds. You know, they were very happy about that. We might be seeing fast times here. See Lauren Weeks now trying to stay with Lauren Griffith. But she is having a great day so far, Lauren Griffith.
Yeah, I was looking for clues when Lauren Weeks started to push, like how soon they need to pause. Do they pause halfway through the first length? You get a good idea for how the sleds are feeling there. And Lauren Weeks didn't pause for the first couple of lengths. But Lauren Griffiths still flew past her. She was looking really good there.
And speaking flying past, look a little further ahead, like 3 lanes down. This is Camilla Massa, who is done. It's almost like she carried that sled across here. She is first out, the Italian. What an incredible and sneaky effort by the Italian. She had such a mixed season last season. Often couldn't fulfill the expectations she had for herself. And Megan Jacoby gone past Lauren Weeks in the second workout as well. We're seeing just a little bit of that struggle that Lauren had with the sleds in Nice, now down here as well. She is headed out back onto the track in 5th position after coming in first. Not running entirely smooth. I think that sled push did hurt her a little bit, but this is Camilla Massa from Italy in the lead now. But Lauren Griffith is flying from behind, chasing down the Italian. She is the faster runner without a doubt. She's going to be able to catch up to the Italian on the way towards the sled pole now. As you can see, it's really close by. If you look at the far end of the screen here, left-hand corner on the inside, the jumping ponytail, that's Megan Jacoby. She is with Joanna Wittrich right now. And Lauren Weeks, she's recovered properly. She's just behind, running about the same pace here. And judging by the looks of it, Lauren Weeks always looks like more work, but it's fast work that she's doing on the run. But this is the move now. In first with Lauren Griffith going past Camilla Massa. Lauren Griffith, incredible runner as well. She is coached nowadays by Lauren Weeks' husband as well. He's got 4 athletes in the race right now, and Kate Davey being one of the other ones. It's an interesting scenario, right? If your husband is coaching your strongest competition. The interesting one is always after that opening lap, after the first couple of workouts, after we've been to the sleds, how does the running change? If you look at the run from Lauren Griffith, the opening run, 3 minutes 29, you know, it was just going with the other women out there, and then it's kind of like leveling down. So 4:02 for the second lap, which is more of what we're going to see now. But look at that. It is literally within 3 or 4 seconds that we're seeing the top 5 come in here. Lauren Griffith first, then we got Joanna Wittrich, Lauren Weeks, Megan Jacoby, and Camilla Massa were down at the sled pole. And right now, we were talking about it. Megan Jacoby, she was happy to have a little bit of a gap on Lauren Weeks. She would have been happy to be behind. Instead, she is a little bit ahead or shoulder to shoulder right now as we're talking. It is a good day so far for Megan Jacoby.
This is another station where you were in the briefing till where they were very, very strict about, you know, the rules, making sure that you don't step on that back line there, making sure like you manage the rope properly. Penalties can easily be applied here, and penalties can be very, very costly. If you do step on that line, you get a warning. If you do it again, there's a 5-meter penalty that's going to be applied at the end now, whereas previously it's always been like before you finish the sled pull.
I mean, the sleds are just, that's the worst penalty you can get.
Yeah. It can, you know, we saw it cost Michael Sandbach a lot of time in Nice at the World Championships. So they're all going to be, they're all aware of that. They're all being very cautious, but it is very easily done when you're stepping back to step on that back line, and that you know the judges are watching them very closely.
And I mean, it's always been a thin line between, you know, race mode where things can happen, but also our athletes being a little bit cheeky at times and knowing exactly where to bend the rules and finding the gray zone. So that's been dialed in even more for this season as we're looking at it. And Lauren Griffith, she is losing a little bit of time there. We got Lauren Weeks, Megan Jacoby, they're out. Camilla Massa, she's on the other side as well. So they're pulling ahead just a little bit right now. And we're looking at the And after run 3 of the stand, and on the left-hand side of the screen, you see it. So Lauren Griffith in first, Joanna Wittrich 2 seconds down, then Lauren Weeks, Megan Jacoby shoulder to shoulder, and Camilla Massa. And then it's that first get to Jana Lebenstedt from Germany. And Vivian Tefudo, 34 seconds down. She was what our production crew call one of the, they see her in 3rd overall today. So she's got a little bit of making up to do in what's to come here, but we're seeing an incredibly strong Lauren Griffith in the race here today. It's fantastic to see her. We kind of expected Joanna Wittrich, our viewers did as well out there. And then obviously Megan and Lauren as well. Camilla Massa, great to see. Again, this is a very close, maybe a little closer race than we expected before.
Yeah, it is. I think Lauren Griffiths and Joanna Wittrich, they're struggling more on this sled pull than some of the other athletes. So they came in the first 2. But I think Lauren Weeks, Megan Jacoby and Camilla Massa have clawed back time here. And yeah, you see like Megan's the first to leave. I think she was 4th in. She's first to leave there, so she's had a strong one. And then Lauren Weeks and Camilla Massa are leaving right now. So those first 2 come in here have certainly struggled more than those next 3.
Lauren Weeks, we're just seeing her run out looking so much more smooth coming out of this workout than she did before. She really struggled off the sled push, but this is straight out of the workout, out of the pull. Typical Lauren Weeks running style, so that's going to be a fast lap for her. As we're now seeing Lauren Griffith, who was first in, out of the workout. She did lose valuable time here.
And you said too, like Lauren Weeks is closing Megan down here. This has been a great run from Lauren Weeks so far. And this is, like we talked about, we've not had that race where they've been neck and neck. Even like this early on in the race, we've not necessarily seen them this close, but Lauren's just gliding past her there at the moment. This is really exciting. I don't think we've seen them this close coming up to the burpee station before. It'd be interesting to see, like I talked earlier about the strictness of the rules on the burpees, and you want to try and just gain every little inch you can, but when it's like neck and neck and this close, are you going to try and push the boundaries and maybe risk a penalty?
Just passing Sarah Pergiani going through there. Lauren Weeks pulling a little bit away from Megan Jacoby.
You might remember when England won the relay at the World Championship, she was on the burpee station there and putting in an incredible time. So to be in that fairly solid position at the moment, coming up to her favourite station, I think she'd be quite excited.
So by our calculations, Lauren Weeks should have had about a 10 to 13 second lead on Megan Jacoby going into the burpees, looking at their strengths in the workouts to come. So if they're both feeling fit, Lauren Weeks doesn't quite have that advantage that she wants to have, but she is showing an incredible run strength today. Again, and I have no doubt, if need be, she can make up another 5 seconds or something on that or any of the other run laps coming up. I mean, if we look at the run times here from Lauren Weeks, you know, just taking a slightly closer look here.
So Lauren just put in a 4:15 run on that 4th run versus Megan's 4:24. And we've already touched on it, but Lauren said before the race that she knows she's fit, but is she Hyrox fit? Well, getting through those sleds and then coming out onto that run, that's a really good test of whether you're Hyrox ready. You know, going from those tough, heavy sleds to then a run and then gaining 9 seconds on Megan Jacoby shows that you're in reasonable Hyrox shape to be able to put that run in after those sleds. And then another great tester is burpee broad jumps. If you're Hyrox fit, you're going to know about it on the burpee broad jumps.
I love it how you use the term reasonable Hyrox shape by what we're seeing here right now. With those 2 women in the first major off this season, absolutely smashing it. And they're not budging an inch right now. If you look at it, I mean, there's like around about half a burpee to a burpee between the 2 of them.
Yeah, we just saw the times come up there on the screen. It's worth just highlighting as well that battle for 3rd spot. So top 3 do qualify for the World Championships today, and that battle for 3rd spot between really 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th at the moment is very, very close. Just a matter of seconds in it, and that can easily be gained or lost on the burpees.
And let's face it, I mean, with the new prize purse structure that we're seeing here, it is about qualifying for the World Championship without a doubt. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard yet, we have announced recently. We're going to Chicago. The Windy City is going to be the place to be for the World Championship in June this year, next year. So a very exciting one for both the elite and the age groupers. Make sure to sign up to your qualification race and get time, and then see you all out there in Chicago. But in the race here now, Lauren Griffith, she probably moved ahead about a burpee by now. So instead of 1 burpee, it is 2. She is out. She gained a couple of seconds on Megan Jacoby, who is done just now. She's coming around that corner and heading out onto the run track as well. Just a quick look over to the competition. Interesting one, how she is checking out who's behind her. That was the look back to the grid, and we can tell her there is nobody right now.
Well, that comes back to that point. It's top 3 qualify for the World Championship. So obviously Megan wants to win this race. She's very, very competitive athlete. She wants to win, but she's also mindful that top 3 is the priority today, I would have thought. And so just keeping an eye on who's behind her.
And it's exciting down there, because if you look at the screen just up there ahead of Lauren Griffith, that is Kate Davey. She made her move. You said it. It's her favorite workout. She is heading out onto the run track in 3rd.
Yeah, there's not an obvious time, not an obvious station where they're going to lose a lot of time.
So it was just a handful of seconds for Lauren Weeks, the lead, heading into the burpees. It was 9 seconds after the burpees, and I have no doubt that she extended that to over 15 seconds now on Megan Jacoby, as she is inside the rock zone already. She's on the way to the SkiErg with Megan Jacoby not in sight. And we're starting the clock now to see how big the gap is between Lauren Weeks and Megan Jacoby. Very important. If you look at the SkiErg, that's been made very clear by the judges. Both feet need to be inside the straps before you grab the handle and then start rowing. And there she comes, Megan Jacoby, next one up onto the SkiErg. They're going to be shoulder to shoulder, but a little bit of a head start here for Lauren Weeks. A good solid by the time Megan Jacoby starts, 100 meters ahead.
It feels like a lot of time Megan's lost there on that last run. She's come in 33 seconds behind Lauren there, where there was only 9 seconds difference as they left the burpee broad jump. So that's quite a lot of time that Lauren's made up on that run. Now, whether Megan's struggling or not, I don't know, or whether it just comes back to that point. Is she managing her position? Is she settling for second to some extent, because she knows that it's top 3 that's the priority today? But there's Kate Davey coming in 3rd there, looking good towards the end of that run. I think she maybe gained a little bit of time on Megan there as well. So yeah, she'll be pleased with this.
Next to her, Megan Jacoby and Lauren Weeks, with Lauren Weeks leading, very focused. You know, just looking at it right now as she is finished, she was just looking at the screen, very focused, 1,000 meters done. Megan Jacoby, what I love about her, looking at her right now, she doesn't get, you know, there's nothing hectic about what she's doing. It doesn't look like that lead that Lauren Weeks had is rushing her in any way.
No. She's raced many times before. She's composed. She knows what she's doing. There goes Megan. But I do think it's a big advantage to be able to know that you've qualified 9 months ahead of time, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And just looking at the board there now, 13th for Vivian Tefudo. We did not expect that.
No, we didn't. We said she had a lot of 4th place finishes. She's got 3rd at the World Championships. It sounded like she'd been working on her running and was doing really good in the off season. So I was expecting her to be in contention today for sure. But no, yeah, she's well down at the moment.
Lauren Weeks at the Farmer's Carry. It's a beautiful setup that we have here. It's a fast one. I expect the women not to set the kettlebells down. We don't have that many turns with the setup that we got here for the Farmer's Carry. Lauren Weeks in the lead, and there was a certain indication that she's feeling great. You can always tell in a certain way by her pre-race interviews, and she was fairly chirpy and chatty for a Lauren Weeks, which she's feeling confident, she's feeling great. She's got the family here, she's got the athletes she's training with here, as Megan Jacoby now, who at the Farmer's Carry as well, trying to look ahead where Lauren Weeks is. And we're going to get the timing splits in a second between the two of them. And of course, the chase is behind. It was 24 seconds for Megan Jacoby after the last workout. And then a minute and some change for third for Kate Davey, who's on the way towards the Farmers Carry as well. Not a look at each other at all with Lauren Weeks, Megan Jacoby passing each other here in the different directions. Lauren Weeks already looking ahead towards the exit of the Farmers Carry. Everybody, once again, a warm welcome here to the first major of the season from Amsterdam. We're at the Farmers Carry already, which means we've got 2 workouts left, and we got our leader on the way towards the Farmers Carry exit here. Very important. They're not allowed to throw the kettlebells anymore. They got to be put down exactly like that, handles up again. So a lot of new things just in the routine for the athletes that they had to relearn or need to make sure they focus on while having a heart rate of about a gazillion.
Yeah, and I think it's a 30-second penalty if you don't put the kettlebells down with the handles facing up. So very, very costly penalty. Those splits that just came up at the bottom of the screen there, one of the interesting points there, I think, was that Lauren gained 13 seconds on Megan on that previous run, so she's clearly feeling very good on the runs, and I suspect she maybe even gained a few seconds on the Farmers Carry as well, so if anything she's extending her lead at the moment.
It's an incredible day for Lauren Weeks. I did get a little bit worried after seeing her run out of the sled push. She lost significant time there. She had a very, not so pretty run style for the first half lap coming out, but then she found her Lauren Weeks legs again, and she's been absolutely flawless since, with Kate Davey in the picture right now fighting. She does not want to put those kettlebells down. Very different race for her compared to Stuttgart. Different weights, different reps that we're seeing here. Not the reps anymore, the weights we're seeing very differently right now. A lot more weight as Jana Liebenstedt is getting into the workout. Kate Davey is out in third.
I'd say this station is critical. If Megan wants to win this race, then it's probably going to have to be at the lunges that she's going to do it. And so, yeah, critical station coming up.
And I got to tell you, I love it. I think it's beautiful to see how she is back. She was the standard for the first half of the season last year. Then Megan Jacoby kind of moved past her, and at this race where she's just obliterated everybody at the World Championship in Nice. But now, for the first major of the season, Lauren Weeks, again, seems to be the early standard of the season, and everybody else has to find a way to measure up to that in the coming races.
Mm-hmm. And I think she felt before the race in Nice that she was in some of the shape of her life. It just didn't work out for her for whatever reason, one reason or another. And so I think she felt she was in incredible shape, and she's looking good so far today.
All right, into the sandbag lunges, the 7th out of 8 workouts here. We are in the final stages of the Women's Elite 15 race here at the Hyrox Major in Amsterdam. The major kickoff of the season, the Elite 15 that you're seeing racing here today. And it's not going to be too long now. Looking ahead a little bit what's happening this season. Next stop, Hong Kong. Next month already.
Yeah, it's going to come around very quickly. It'll be a very interesting race, because let's assume that Megan and Lauren claim two of the 3 spots today. That battle for the next 3 spots really opens up to the rest of the field then, and I think there'll be even more excitement from some of these other athletes that they can then get their spots. So yeah, that Hong Kong race is going to be really exciting.
Oh, and look at that now for third. Yes, we know Lauren Weeks, she's doing incredibly well. Megan Jacoby, no doubt. Kate Davey came in third, but the chase is here in form of Jana Virchik, who found her legs again. She is catching back up to Kate Davey here. Lauren Griffith behind, coming in now in 5th place, trying to close that gap, and there is now only 11 seconds between Kate Davey and Jana Virchik. and then another 14 seconds down, Lauren Griffith. This is the duel for third place, and again, everybody out there on the screens, third place qualifies you for the World Championship. It's done, it's dusted, you're sorted 9 months out, and all you got to do from that is focus on every single race to improve, enjoy, earn some prize money, and be ready for that race in June.
This is a great little battle here between third and fourth, between Kate Davey and Joanna Wettrick. Joanna's like a tall athlete, long legs, long strides there on each lunge. It looks like Kate's struggling a tiny little bit more. I know she is good on these lunges, but it looks like she's just feeling a little bit more unstable at certain points. I think Joanna's closing the gap a little bit, but Kate's moving again quite well at the moment.
But drop it like it's hot, Lauren Weeks. She's dropped the sandbag lunge. Quick correction there from the head judge. That's what we said. They're gonna be very, very uptight, I want to say. Today, she had to do that extra lunge as she tried to move away. But again, she is flying out of the rock zone right now. We got direct view of her. Incredible, straight up, stable body, stable hips, and just absolutely flying is now Megan Jacoby. Dropped the sandbag as well. She had that gap of about 45 seconds. Let's see what it's like after the sandbag lunges now. And Kate Davey, she is fighting, but she is now struggling to hold off Joanna Wettrick. She is trying to move in. Kate Davey absolutely leaving it all out there. She needs a little bit of a gap going out onto that final run lap. We know that Joanna is running just a little bit faster than Kate Davey, who's now turning around for that last lap. We're going to keep you up to date on what's happening out on that run with Lauren Weeks and Megan Jacoby. But right now, let's focus on that duel for third overall that we're looking at right now. That third and final spot that will qualify for the World Championship. On your left, in the lead at the sandbag lunges right now, or putting her into third overall, that is Kate Davey from Great Britain. Then next, sort of in the middle of the grid, that is Joanna Wettrick, who is chasing right now, and it looks like Lauren Griffith again losing just a little bit of time. Kate Davey done. She is holding on with everything she got to that third place right now. We're going to see her time pop up on that screen in a second, and then we want to see the gap to Joanna Wettrick. It was 11 seconds going into the sandbag lunges. Joanna Wettrick had the faster run. She dropped the back as well. Lauren Griffith next now. That gap has barely changed between Kate Davey, Joanna Wettrick, which means if Joanna's got the same run now, she'll be heading to the wall balls, shoulder to shoulder with Kate Davey. And again, you said it before, the gap now there, we see it as 14 seconds. Neither of them has done the wall balls unbroken.
Let me stop you there, too. I've just been told that apparently Joanna Wettrick did go unbroken in Brisbane. Her and Lauren Griffith both went unbroken in Brisbane on the wall balls. So Joanna has done it. So that 9-second gap behind Kate Davey there, if she can do that again, I suspect she could claw that back at the wall balls.
And Joanna Wettrick, she's got her sights on Kate Davey. She is going to try and make that move past in a second, and you'll see if she's going to try to make that a decisive move there. Maybe even try to accelerate it a little bit, not give Kate Davey any opportunity to stay with her. That would be the move to do here as we got our leader, Lauren Weeks, coming in. She is into the final workout. The wall balls, ladies and gentlemen out there, your race leader, Lauren Weeks, live here from the first major of the season in Amsterdam. And let's talk about the wall balls just for a second there. You know, just to make it clear, there is, well, 3 things you want to focus on. The first thing is the squat. It's got to be below a 90-degree angle between your lower and your upper leg. So that's why you see the judges and their heads going up and down. They look everything very carefully. The second is you want to hit the board, and the third is you want to hit the board center. And then when we see the picture, Joanna Wettrick now, she is moving away from Kate Davey. Not really liking Kate Davey's look over the shoulder there. She should not focus. It doesn't matter who's coming from behind. She needs to focus on that third spot. She needs to focus on Joanna Wettrick in front of her. And she's just got to find a way to maybe do those wall balls unbroken now and maybe go past Joanna Wettrick. but Lauren Weeks absolutely smashing it. The clock's at 56.27. She's got 3/4 off the wall balls here in a second, and she's got some serious time on her hands if she wants to break the record here today. 58.03. That's the time. Obviously, the race clock up top we're seeing there, you know, that's preliminary times. You want to see the official time once she crosses the line here, but that's what we're seeing at the moment. If that is the actual race time, she's got 10 left. It looks like we might be seeing a new world record here today from Lauren Weeks. We got to wait for official confirmation, but she's got only 5 wall balls left now. 57.14. And the time to break is 58.03. First tiny little bit of a struggle there, just correcting the ball in her hands. And for the last one, she's got to wait for the go from the referee. She's got to go. This is the sprint to the finish line. Lauren Weeks, look at that. And we're going to call the time once we see it officially here. What an incredible race by Lauren Weeks here today, and what a kickoff into the major season. Hyrox Amsterdam is delivering in the Women's Elite 15 race. And look at the clock, last 2 wall balls for Megan Jacoby as well. If the clock is correct, she's gonna cross that finish line below the record time as well. That would be a time under 58. She's looking up at it. And look at the way they're talking right now, the way she looked up there. If I got that right, I think she just said we both broke 58 minutes. That would be incredible. What a race, everybody. Want to try to get that confirmation as quickly as possible. Great spirits among the two of them at the finish line. And Joanna Wittrich, she is clearly pulling away here from Kate Davey. She is doing well. Kate Davey absolutely really fighting here to the limit, but it looks like Joanna Wittrich is going to take that 3rd spot on the podium here. She's going to take that 3rd qualification spot for the World Championship in Chicago, with now 15 wall balls left for Joanna Wittrich. And of course, Greg, the man who was on the microphone with me, is on the way down to the finish line already for the after show that we're going to jump straight into after the top 5 crossing the line. And of course, we're going to hear from our winner, Lauren Weeks, and hopefully from Megan Jacoby. And that Joanna Wittrich as well. It's the last ball for her. She had 1 no rep there, but now she is good to go. Staying under the 1 mile mark as well. Incredible race from Joanna Wittrich across the line. And of course, we're going to see official confirmation of the times, of the finish times, very soon, as we got Kate Davey. What a wall ball set for Kate Davey. 2 left as well. Lauren Griffith getting a push there for Megan Jacoby, and this is Kate Davey. What an incredible, incredible race in the Elite 15 for the woman from Great Britain.
Thanks so much, Till. Another unbelievable race. It's like we've gone on straight from World Champs. I mean, Lauren, times are unofficial at the moment, but you've just set a new world record.
I honestly don't know what my time is yet.
We're not sure what the time is yet, but it looked like a new world record. It looked like a significant world record, I've got to say.
Well, yeah, the course was very smooth. Like, the corners were really nice. The rock zone had pretty nice corners. It was definitely set up for a fast run.
You were saying to Teal, you knew you were fit, but you weren't sure if you were Hyrox ready.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, there is. But clearly, did you feel good as soon as you started?
I mean, as soon as we started on the run, and my run felt really, really good. I'm always like so nervous before I hit the sleds, because some days they're hard and some days they fly. So it's like, I don't know what today's going to give me. I'm crossing my fingers for a good sled day.
Slightly unusually, you haven't been traveling with your usual crew that's here. How have you managed the race weekend without your husband and your daughter?
Honestly, it's really hard. this trip is the longest that I've been gone from them, so it'll be like 6 days. Normally I'm like 4 days max. Sorry, 4 days max.
It's okay.
This is a long one, and it's really hard. So my little thing into the camera, that's how Lily and I tell each other we love you.
That's super cute. I mean, when you said you weren't Hyrox race ready, is that something that almost you tell yourself to take expectation away? Or did you genuinely believe that you're not one of the fittest women in the world right now in this sport?
So honestly, I don't know. Like, before World Champs every year, I spend a lot more time being very specific on stations. We're so early in the season that I'm not quite there yet, but like, it goes to show that like, maybe in training it's better to not be specific, that we're like, I'm able to get like more overall fitness when I'm not specifically training the stations.
You were up against a lot of rookies as well that you probably just haven't had the experience of facing on the competition floor.
No.
How did that alter things out on track?
Actually, I wouldn't say it altered much at all. It was just kind of exciting to like get to race with new people. Sorry, I'm not looking at you. With new people, because it is consistently the same, usually like 20-ish girls that I'm racing with, and we had quite a few new faces today, and I'm so excited to have Joanna in the field. Like 22, she's, I don't know, like in between the age of myself and my daughter, so she's somebody who is going to bridge that gap. Like if my daughter wants to compete in sports like this, like I need somebody like Joanna who falls in love with the sport to keep it going and keep the hype with it so that it's still around when Lily grows up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is not the last time we're going to see you race this weekend.
No, I have doubles this weekend. I'm going to race with JK, who still has to do his singles. Excited to cheer him on. And then I'm also racing with Rebecca, who's sitting on stage right there. So we'll be coming in on our second wind.
Amazing. Can't wait to watch over the rest of the weekend. I'll let you get away and celebrate with friends, I hope, that are here, as opposed to family. But yeah, if you want to hand our microphone over to one of our crew, and congratulations, Lauren.
Well done.
Oh, we'll take it. Greg will have it. Greg, obviously, just before Lauren walked into studio, her time was slightly reevaluated on the screen, so we're slightly in the dark as to what the final scores were. But that doesn't take away from another amazing performance and two women who broke the current world record.
Yeah, incredible, really. And I think it reminded me back of when she won the World Championships in Manchester, and every time she came out of a station, she just looked so strong. The compromised running was so strong, and yeah, so it reminded me of that today.
Down on the ground, while we take a little look at the results. Lauren Weeks, our champion, with a 58.06. Another incredibly impressive performance, especially from someone who's not Hyrox race ready, Greg.
Yeah. I mean, sub 60 is an incredible time. All of these are incredible times, really. But yeah, 58.06 this early in the season. Not sure if you're race ready. Not sure if you've been training specifically enough for something like Hyrox. To put that in now is incredible, really.
But it now has been confirmed that Lauren Weeks has set a new world record with a 57.36.